Wake up.
What happened?
Coming off of one of the most highly praised sequels of all time, Batman Arkham City, WB Games were looking for someone to help make their next game because Rocksteady was making their next game, which turned out to be Batman Arkham Knight, which Rocksteady said it would take 4 to 5 years to make. WB Games were looking until they found WB Games Montreal to help make their next Batman game, which turned out to be Batman Arkham Origins. By July 2012, WB Games was planning Rocksteady to publish their next Arkham gaming series, and when they found out Rocksteady was planning Arkham Knight and would take 4 years to make, they were not pleased. We asked their buddies in Montreal who helped make the ported V version of Batman Arkham City to help make their next game. They happily said yes and work was on its way. The game would explore a young Batman with his first confrontation against the Joker, who was presumed to be Black Mask. On April 9, 2013, WB Games Montreal announced Batman Arkham Origins. They then got Splash Damage to help work on the visuals and design, which I'll talk about more about later. In June, they announced Kevin Conroy and Mark Hamill will not be reprising their roles. We got Troy Baker, who played Joel from The Last of Us, and Roger Craig Smith, who voiced Captain America in Disney Infinity. They then announced online into Arkham Origins. Then, on October 25th, Batman Arkham Origins was released to the public. Gameplay is a very important and special part about video games. I mean, it's not really a game without gameplay. It has gameplay in the name, for God's sake. But back what I was saying, action-adventure games are very much the same in many people's opinion, and same with me. It's mostly just punching and some type of gimmick like shooting or superpowers. And when Arkham Asylum came out, it carried what it was and expanded on it. We got gadgets in the Batmobile. It was very much inspiring a generation of superhero games and was the first standout original game like Spider-Man 2 was based off of a movie, or even Batman Begins based off a movie. But Arkham Asylum was one of a kind, inspired games like Marvel's Spider-Man. Needless to say, Arkham Origins was City was, but blonder. I'm not saying bad, but the same. It feels more like an expansion than an actual video game, like Miles Morales in the original Spider-Man. Miles Morales feels like an expansion, shorter than the original and has the same type of gameplay but with a new combo string, web slinging, and venom powers, while Arkham Origins has the same combo string and has the same gadgets. They even copied their own game! Their own game! How do you copy your own game? Do you know the ice grenades from Arkham City? They put them inside this game but called them the blue grenades, and same thing with the pump tanks. The boss fights is probably my favorite part of the gameplay section. We start off with Killer Croc, who's not hard. You can perfect him easily, but he's a good beginner boss fight. And as you progress through the story, you get harder boss fights like Deathstroke. This boss fight almost made me rage quit, and that's either because it's so skillful or that I suck at this game. We have whatever boss fights like Deadshot or the Electrocutioner. Boss fights that you can call trash. But then after we build up to eventually Bane, which is great. Visual and designs are very important in a game like this. And when someone says the original Crash or Tomb Raider aged bad because there's bad graphics, in my opinion, I don't personally agree with that, but that's just an example. In Arkham Origins, there's two types of visuals, original gameplay and cutscene, which I'll talk about the cutscenes later. But first I'll talk about how good the good models look like. It's what Asylum and City was, but Batman is younger and more redefined and has some. And same with some characters, like Commissioner Gordon and Killer Croc. The same can be told with the new characters like Deathstroke or Cobblepot, and even the Electrocutioner. Then there's the cutscenes, which are great, but not the great that you think of. Gameplay graphics are a little bit of a downgrade from Arkham City, but not bad. Could be better, but the cutscenes look great, which there's a reason for that. WB Games Montreal were making Arkham Origins and was dealing with a lot of work, so they gave Splash Damage the rights to the cutscenes. Sometimes it just gets annoying, and you're probably thinking why. Because it looks great, and then when you go back to the gameplay, it downgrades from how good the cutscenes are. So when you compare both, you can clearly see one's better. Like in Arkham City, there was no flashy cutscenes. There was just gameplay cutscenes and only those type of cutscenes, which is something that I like about Arkham City very much, and Asylum, and even Night. On Christmas Eve, Batman intervenes in a breakout at Blackgate Prison, led by Black Mask. There, Black Mask executes Police Commissioner Loeb and then escapes, while Batman confronts Black Mask's hired assassin Killer Croc. After defeating Croc, Batman learns that some of the world's deadliest assassins are in Gotham City to claim the 50 million bounty put on Batman's head by Black Mask. Batman tracks down the Penguin aboard a ship, believing he knows where Black Mask's location is. After arriving, Batman is forced to overcome the assassin's Deathstroke and the Electrocutioner, before learning from Penguin that Black Mask has been murdered in Lacey Towers. Batman travels to the towers and investigates the murder scene, piecing together that the victim was not Black Mask, and the murder may involve a new criminal known as the Joker. Needing more information to solve the case, Batman infiltrates the GCPD to access the National Crime Database. In the midst of his escape, Batman encounters Captain James Gordon and the corrupt SWAT team who hope to educate Gordon and collect Black Mask's bounty for money for themselves. With advice from Gordon's daughter, Barbara Gordon, Batman enters the sewer beneath the GCPD to secure permanent access to the database. There he finds Black Mask's crew planting explosives. The database helps Batman uncover that Black Mask was kidnapped by the Joker, who Batman believes intends to use Black Mask to access the Gotham Merchants Bank. At the bank, Batman encounters Black Mask, who is revealed to be the Joker in disguise. The Joker had replaced Black Mask days earlier, seizing his criminal empire and placing a bounty on Batman. Batman then pursues the Joker to the Siona Steel Mill, where he frees Black Mask and defeats the poisonous assassin Copperhead. Tracking the Joker to the Royal Hotel, Batman finds that he and his men have taken control of the building, filled it with explosives, murdered the staff, and taken the guests hostage. Joker gathers the assassins about their failure to kill Batman and throws the Electrocutioner out of a window to his death. Batman recovers his electric gloves. The assassins depart except for Bane, who believes Batman is coming for the Joker. Batman works his way through the building, eventually encountering Joker and fighting Bane. Concerned, Batman is outmatched. Alfred alerts the GCPD for help, to arrive and interrupt the fight as Bane escapes by helicopter. He fires a rocket at Joker, and the consistent force sends Joker falling from the hotel. Batman leaps after him and saves the Joker before leaving him with the GCPD. The Joker is left intrigued by the events as he is imprisoned in Blackgate and placed inside the care of Dr. Harleen Quinzel. Talking to Quinzel, he explains that he now believes it was fate for him and Batman to meet. In the Batcave, Alfred implores Batman to abandon his crusade, fearing he will die, but Batman refuses to listen. Batman locates Bane's headquarters and discovers that Bane knows Batman is Bruce Wayne. Firefly launches an assault on the Pioneer Bridge, forcing Batman and Gordon to work together to overcome the assassin and his bombs. Meanwhile, Bane breaks into the Batcave and beats Alfred nearly to death. Batman returns to find the Batcave in ruins. Alfred dies after requesting that Batman not feel guilty over him. Batman manages to rescue Alfred using Electrocutioner's gloves. Elsewhere, the Joker has taken over Blackgate after launching a riot. Finally accepting that he needs allies, Batman works with Gordon and the GCPD to retake the prison. Batman is forced to fight Bane to the death when Joker places himself in an electric chair that will automatically kill him unless Bane dies. Batman uses the electric gloves to stop Bane's heart. Satisfied, the Joker leaves intending to detonate the bombs placed around the city. Batman rescues Bane, but he becomes enraged and injects himself with a potent steroid, which transforms him into a hulking beast. Batman manages to defeat him, and the steroid side effects damage Bane's memory will accordance help. Batman fights his way to the Joker in the prison chapel, dismayed to learn that Batman saved Bane. The Joker tries to goad Batman into killing him, but Batman subdues him. Gordon decides to let Batman go, believing that he can help the city. In a radio interview during the credits, Quincy Sharp says that he'll lobby to reopen Arkham Asylum to house the city's worst criminals in a post-credit scene, and President's Deathstroke is approached by Amanda Weller to join her Suicide Squad. Even with all its problems, Batman Arkham Origins is still a great game. It's definitely the worst game in the franchise, but it's still great. There's lots of problems with Origins that I'll talk about more in my Asylum review, but that's it for now, guys. So, hopefully I can see you guys all soon. Try to post more consistently. So, yeah, that's it for now. See you guys, and, well,